In this video, we're going to discuss creating segments on our campaign. First, what we want to do is make sure our file is formatted correctly. So I'm going to open my call file. I'm going to look in here. Currently, I don't have any sort of segment column, so I'm going to create one. And I'm just going to, I'm going to copy the state. Now, I don't have to have the column be called segment. I could, in theory, use state column as my segment attribute, but for our case, I'm just going to go ahead and create another column that I'm going to use. So I'm going to save. All right. Now what I'm going to do is navigate to campaigns. I'm going to import my list. Now I'm going to select my file. I'm going to navigate to my file and I'm going to open it. Now I'm going to search for it. Here it is. Segments. Now that I'm here, I'm going to set my customer data accordingly. This will be completely custom to however you're going to import them. Now underneath segment attribute, this is where I am going to set up where my segment column is. So in here, I'm going to go segment. Again, I could have chosen state, but in this case, I created a distinct segment column. Now that I've done that, I'm going to start my import and I'm going to confirm. All right, once that is finished, we see process completed. Now I can hit close. It's going to bring me back to my campaign. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to select my segment button right here. And in here, I'm going to go ahead and create a brand new one. And I'm going to name it, we'll call it state in this case. The priority, I can set my priorities at the individual segment level. In this case, it's going to be static. I can do dynamic where I can write a SQL query to actually do unique and multi-point segments. And right here, you can see attribute. So right here, I can go over here and say NC state. And I can choose which attribute it's going to look at. So this is going to pull all the unique values from that segment attribute column. So in this case, I can go NC and save and close. So it'll pull all those leads there. Now I can go ahead and create another one and call it my Texas state or TX state. So what this is going to do is the attribute's going to actually narrow down to unused attribute values. So since I've already created one for NC, now all I have is TX. And then I will select and save and close. Now what I'm able to do is I can see all my different segments I have. I can then click on them and pause them or activate them. So currently I have my cold call and my NC state. Those two are currently paused. My default, my Texas in general are currently active. So I can turn these different segments or lists off independently of each other.